I call it thrown to the wolves because they were really just building me at the time. I was in dark matches. I was against Tito Santana. He was kind of guiding me, and we were getting things to go. And then what happened is Sid quit. And I think, don't hold me to this, but I think, don't hold me to this, but I think Sid was supposed to do a job for the Warrior, and things didn't go right. And I think Sid walked out on him. And this is what I heard. This is how the conversation went. Who's got any steam on him? I said, the only person who's got steam on him right now is Godfather. Or Godfather, listen to me. Papa Shango. Boom. That's how I got thrown into the Warrior right then. I kind of got fed to him because they had to fill something in. And that's why I said, I don't think that there was any, we never went to no big pay-per-view or anything. And I think it was just a feeling thing, and I had enough steam on me that they had somewhere to go for the second until they figured out where they were going to go.
It seems like they must have liked the match, too, because it wasn't a one-off or anything. You wrestled the Warrior like 50 times.
Oh, I wrestled him a bunch, man. So I went from him to Brett to Taker, Papa Shango. And the thing about Papa Shango, I was going through a really bad divorce at the time. So I wasn't really happy. I was kind of returning to that mean biker guy. And, they were trying to phase me out. But it really wasn't them. It was me. I was just not in a good place. And I didn't need to be out partying and drinking. And I was getting a lot of fights, and it was getting kind of stupid. So I thought it was best for me to go back home.
So that's why the Papa Shango thing, it lasted a good amount of time, but then,
Yeah. I wasn't happy. And it showed. And I was talking with Vince and people. And me and Vince have got a cool relationship, still do. And I'm like, nah, I think and he's like, well, Charles, go home, take some time off, and we'll bring it back in a year or so. And I'm like, cool, because, the thing about me is I always had something else to go to. Most wrestlers have wrestling. I was part owner of a strip club called Cheetahs here in Las Vegas, which we just sold 4 years ago. So I always had money coming in. Wrestling for me wasn't about the money. It was about fun. And it was about me being around, at the time, big, crazy, stupid dudes like me that just did stupid things and got drunk and got into fights and were just, crazy dudes. And it was the type of people that I was used to being around. And so for me, the money was cool, but wrestling for me was fun. When I was not having fun, I'm like, Vince, I'm out of here, man. I can make more money at home, and I'm not going through tables, getting hit over the head with chairs, doing this crazy road schedule. So that's why you would see me come and go. And then they would call me and say, hey, you want to come back? And I'd be like, no, not really. And then they'd come up with an idea, and I'm like, no. And then they, a little later, they'd say, hey, want to do this? I'm like, okay, I might do that. That's how it went with me until The Godfather. And when The Godfather, that was just me and my wife's idea, and we developed that whole character ourselves.
You had good matches with him. You had a good relationship with him backstage. Did he let you call the matches as a heel when you were Papa Shango?
I called my own heat. We worked that out together. The Warrior was cool with me. I was cool with him. I didn't have the problems that a lot of people had. I think that one of the reasons why I don't think he was really threatened by me. I wasn't Randy Savage. I wasn't somebody that was threatening his job or, his spot. But the Warrior, I was cool with Jim. We'd have our talks before. We'd talk afterwards. If we couldn't talk afterwards, we'd talk the next day. But yeah, I had, no problems with Jim. He was cool with me.
How many times do people ask you about putting the curse? Is that almost every convention you go to?
So many people ask me that I tell them. I'd tell you, but I'd have to kill you. So I don't have to tell anybody about the curse and the black ooze. What's cracking, lacking, everybody? WWE Hall of Famer, The Godfather here, and you're watching Title Match Network. Check it out. Peace.